Hello, my name is Craig Perkins. The importance of my informative speech stems from my own story. When I was 14 years old, I lost my virginity to a girl that I thought I was in love with. A couple of weeks later, she disappeared. They later found her on the road with my father. They had been having a relationship behind my back the entire time. And back then, I wasn't a Christian. I didn't know what love was. And I remember feeling so heartbroken and apart from the world. And I just wanted to give up. I attempted suicide twice. But my little sister invited me to a revival for teens that was done by an evangelist named Dave Kistler. And at this revival, he was showing images of the Passion of the Christ. And he was talking about true love and where true love stems from. And I remember being so heartbroken and realizing that I had been looking for love in the wrong place the entire time. That I was just crawling up to that altar. And I got saved that night. And that's because of youth ministry. Youth ministry is important for multiple reasons. First, we will explore the state of youth culture as seen by statistics and stories. After this, we will examine the ways that youth leaders can help to change these statistics. And finally, we will discuss what it takes to be an effective youth counselor and leader. What does all of this mean? Youth culture is increasingly secular and ungodly. Everything about it points toward rebellion, stubbornness, and sin. According to youth culture and youth studies, in 2010, the suicide rate was the third leading cause of death among young people between the ages of 15 and 24. Around 40% of young people will try alcohol before the age of 18. According to a Time magazine article. In 2013, over 20% of teens smoked marijuana. Teens overdose more commonly on prescription medicines than on heroin or cocaine combined. Over 40% of high school teens say that they are sexually active, according to the Resource Center for Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention. 15% of sexually active teens have had multiple partners. It's no wonder that nearly 90% of teens do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ when this is the average world in which they live. But youth ministry can change that. We're surrounded by media that sexualizes everything. That it's bad if you're a virgin. And teenagers are raised in this culture thinking just that. They're thinking that if they don't put themselves out there, if they don't get high with their friends, then they're not in the cool crowd. And they think that fitting in or being used by someone physically is what love is, because they've never been taught what true love really is. Because we as believers know that true love only comes from one place, and that is Jesus Christ. Our teens do not have to become statistics. With the help of youth leaders and the church, we can help them to rise above statistics. Most teens enjoy church teaching that is relevant to their daily lives, according to an article from Minister to Youth. If teens are taught the right way regularly, they are less likely to resort to sinful behavior. The same goes for drug classes and sexual purity classes. These things can help prevent teenagers from turning the wrong way. If they are taught the truth, then they will know the truth growing up. Teens find meaningful relationships in a godly setting within a youth group. One of the biggest things I remember about being a teenager was I wanted to find a place where I fit in. I wanted to be able to know that I could turn to somebody and trust them, and that they would show me unconditional love no matter what I had done, no matter where I was in life. I wanted to find that. And that's why I flocked towards someone that would give me attention, even if it was just physical. But a youth group is a great place for leaders to create relationships where these teenagers can trust someone and not be used, or they can find someone who truly cares about them. It's vitally important because in today's society, there's so many teenagers who don't have a mother or a father. And they look for that kind of relationship in adults around them. If you are an adult who is an example, a good example, then they will come to you and they will trust you if you make yourself trustworthy. Youth group is also a godly alternative to going out and partying. I mean, it's no secret that today teenagers are doing drugs and smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. It's very common. 80%, over 80% of teenagers will try marijuana before they graduate the 12th grade. But youth group is a place where they can get together and they can hang out, and there's not going to be any of that going on. It's a place where they can get together and not only be around peers, but also learn about God and learn about a true purpose for life. Because that's what's important. The purpose of youth ministry should be to evangelize teens and to help them turn around their lives. Today, it seems like a lot of youth groups are just a way to keep the teenagers busy while the adults are having their classes. But that's not what it should be. Because there's a revival coming for this country, and it's going to come from within the youth. And I firmly believe that youth culture needs to be given attention by the church. We need to evangelize these kids and show them the right way, because they're going to be the ones that take over this church after us. That's why youth ministry is such a vitally important part of ministry. They're close to becoming the adults of the church. But what makes for an effective youth minister or leader? There are certain aspects of personality that youth leaders should strive to maintain and create within their lives. First, we have honesty. And we find the verse for honesty in Proverbs 12:22. And if you give me a minute, I will find that verse. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. This is saying that God hates it when you lie. It hurts God's feelings when you lie. But people that tell the truth constantly bring him such profound joy. And a youth leader should be open and honest about everything. They should never, ever tell their kids a lie. Because the kids need to come to them and they need to know this person is worthy of my trust. This person is going to be honest with me. This person's not going to sugarcoat anything for me. Sexual purity is the next thing that we have to be that we have to find important in a youth minister or leader. In 1 Thessalonians 4:3-7, I might have that wrong. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and in honor, not in lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not God, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any way, because that the Lord is the avenger of all such, as we also have forewarned you and testified. For God hath not called us unto uncleanliness, but unto holiness. Sexual purity is vitally important because this is what we're teaching our teens. We're trying to teach our teenagers what it means to be sexually pure. Therefore, we ourselves need to be sexually pure. And an aspect of being a good role model is not only being sexually pure, but not taking advantage of the people that we're supposed to be taking care of. I mean, how many of you turn on the news today and find report after report of preachers or ministers or youth ministers or children ministers that are being arrested for using the people they're supposed to take care of? Compassion is the next trait which a youth minister should possess. And again, I'm really sorry that I'm so behind on these verses. We find our verse in Colossians 3:12. Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long-suffering. We should show not just compassion, but unconditional love. There should be no ill intent or ill will in the heart of any youth minister or leader whatsoever. They need to come to youth group and see that you truly, truly care about them. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a man or a woman who cares about them and is honest and is pure. Someone who will be a good example to them. Someone who will show them there is a good path that you can follow in life, and this is the route that you should take, because I know, because I took it when I was your age. We should also be disciplined, though. That is one of the most vital parts of being a leader, is being disciplined and knowing when we are right and when we are wrong. We need to be able to seek knowledge with a loving heart. Proverbs 12:1 says, Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. But overall, the most important aspect of being a leader is being in the Word. You must surround yourself by the Word of God. It must be what you live, breathe, and from where you draw your strength as a leader. Proverbs 16:9 says, A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. If we have a heart for youth ministry, we can save teenagers from today's society. All it takes is men and women who are willing to step up to the plate and take a stand for God. Youth culture is lost and confused. The statistics are daunting. But effective youth ministry can change lives. All it takes is men and women who desire to serve the Lord and have specific qualities. If the world continues to influence our teens, fewer than 1% will be evangelical Christians within the next generation. In youth culture, Christianity is dying. It's fading into the background, being surrounded by sin, and ungodliness. Thank you.